I tell you what, I've been dealing with this lumbar issue,
Oh,
and I'm slowly watching my leg. I've lost 4 pounds of weight, and I'm in no way any smaller from the waist up than I was.
right.
It's just my left leg is losing and man, you got a 39-inch inseam and you got a, a 28-inch thigh. That's that's a lot of body weight. And I mean, right now, man, my I wouldn't want my shit to fall out of my pants next to my leg. I wouldn't know which one to grab.
Well, how far back in your career did you first start to? When did it get tough to get out of bed? When did it get tough to? Was it in the wrestling, or was it even back during
I,
basketball?
no, I mean, when I when I tore my knee up bad overseas, but it's like anything else. I mean, there's different degrees. Like pain is one thing. When your actual it's like I've never had a stroke, but if you have a stroke, like your that side of your body doesn't work. So this is the closest I've ever had to a stroke
Oh,
because my fucking leg it's firing, but it's probably firing at 30% because my L3 L4 fucking nerve is so pinched.
mm,
So it's like I had all this decompression, and everything that these back specialists go by is sciatica and how much pain are you in. I'm like, I'm in zero pain. I'm a little bit of discomfort in my lower back, but nowhere near my neck and shoulders.
okay.
Nowhere near my right ankle. I mean, my lower back is tight because it's got some herniated discs. But as far as not being able to get the leg to fire and hold my ass,
Mm,
like to go up the stairs and like take one step at a time, man, and you're 65 years old. I get it. And at least I look at it and it's like, this is the same quad that I tore off the bone. And I remember when I couldn't put weight on it for like 45 days. And every day I would do straight legged, leg lifts with a 5 pound ankle weight and do all this shit. But it was like my arm was actually bigger than my leg was. And then all of a sudden I was given the green light to start training it. And once I could get underneath and start doing some leg presses, then it was like boom, and it's just because of muscle
mm,
memory that fucking muscle goes bam, it comes right back. So I know that that's the situation. It's just like tomorrow I've got a console with a minimally invasive back guru, and I've already thank God that I ran into a bioaccelerator.
I was just going to ask you about what stem cells can do in this
So
specific situation.
BioAccelerator is a company that's basically put the Tin Man back together. This will be my third time going down, and it's beyond a blessing, um, beyond a blessing to have this. And I know because I've had it with my neck, I've had it with my shoulders. I will go down. They will put me in twilight, almost probably almost they'll probably put me out for this because they're going to be going in my lumbar. But they will go in with a PRP stem cell mixture, and they'll go into that cervical, and they'll fill it. And just by taking that pinched nerve and filling it, that will take the pressure off of that nerve. And I guarantee you, by the time I fly home, I'm going to be a different human being. I've watched fighters, UFC guys that have went down there and say that I woke up the next morning and it was like my neck was never injured and like I couldn't turn my head. Like it's so life changing and it's I'm just so blessed to have that in my repertoire because if I was tomorrow having this conversation and I, I, I always jump to the end. Okay, I understand your procedure because I just watched it for an hour and a half. I watched you, I watched you do 3 discs on YouTube. I've done my due diligence. Now I need to know how long after this procedure before I can lift weights. That's the only thing I give a fuck about.
Mm.
How long before? Because at 65 years old, the thing that keeps me healthy, I know, is the amount of muscle I have on my body. For me to be able to motor, for me, I can't motor right now. If you can't motor, you fucking die. You've got to keep moving. And so it's like, thank God I've got, and if this guy tells me, because, you know, if the stem cells, and I know the stem cells are going to get me where I need to, but maybe down the line when this wear and tear, but I think the stem cells are going to get in there. They're going to give me the relief. And then if I just take, because now I don't do any alcohol, which is huge with stem cells. Like that's going to be like probably like a twofold to what the normal procedures I've had because most times I would wait 45 days and I would drink again. This time, and your envelope is like, that window is like 6 months where you just continually get better and better and better and better. And that's going to happen. So I was depressed earlier today because just having to deal with all of it and have to set up my portal and go back in and fill all the paperwork out. But my buddy Joey works down there at Bio, and I mean he's on it. He's like I'm gonna be gone for 10 days. When come down after that, so we can catch some dinners and it's like family down there.
What percentage, when you had your neck done, what percentage mobility did you get back, and in how much time?
Um, I mean, like immediately, like when I woke up the next.
Was it like a flight home situation like the UFC guy you were talking about?
No, it was the morning after I got my neck injected. I reached like my hands. I woke up every morning and my hands were numb. And I woke up and I grabbed the. It was cold in the room and I grabbed the comforter and I pulled the comforter up. And as I pulled the comforter up, I realized that both my hands were completely like they weren't numb.
Mm.
So I took this hand, my right hand, I swung around the end of the bed because I was just like, this is one of those. Let me make sure I'm awake. All right, you're awake. And I took my hand and I squeezed it as hard as I could, and it sounded like a kid walking on a bag of leaves. It just went
What
crunch.
is it that's crunching?
Because I haven't had all the strength in that hand in so long that just by gripping it, all that shit just fucking just
Wow.
crunched. And I was just like, whoa. And that was my first time down there. So now I know. So today I go and I have an interaction with a QAnon person. And this is a couple of time a week type thing. She's a female. She's a sweetheart. She's just, I mean, it's
How do you
everybody.
know does she wear a shirt? Like how do you identify? Is there an odor? Like, how do you know
No,
when someone's a QAnon?
it's just when the ball goes behind home plate on a foul and they call it fair, pretty much that's, a pretty good indicator. They're just so out of it. It's amazing. But she was telling me, because she saw me kind of limping around, and she was telling me, or she asked me first, she asked me, she says, "What's going on?" I said, "I got a couple of fucked up discs." I said, "One's like a 5 millimeter fucking spill, like it's torn, and I got a 5 millimeter spill that's pressing on a nerve." And I said, but I'm going to get stem cells. And she makes this face, and I know immediately that she equates stem cells to embryos and drinking blood and
The
Pizzagate.
pizzeria.
Yeah, I mean, I can just, and I looked at her. Oh, I said, you don't approve of stem cells? She says, no. I said, how much do you know about it? She says, enough. I said, did you know that the only viable stem cell comes from a woman that goes term, that has the child through a C-section? I said, did you know that's the only viable stem cell that there is? And that the only stem cell in the world that, I mean, that's because the umbilical cord at that point, when that child is born, it stops, and all those stem cells that are sitting in that tube waiting to make teeth, hair, it's done.
Right.
So
There's an
now you've
assignment
just,
already.
yeah, now
So
you,
yeah.
yeah, there's everybody else is, it's summer. There's no assignments. They get the rest of those stem cells, it's summer school. So, and I looked at her, I said, and you know that, right? And now I can tell it's like, you mean there's more than vanilla ice cream? Like, I can already tell. It's just like,
Ivan Garcia, appreciate the solid advice on where to pivot in life after turning 40. I lift in the AM, do cardio in the evening. I'm noticing my clothes finally fitting me looser. Click this for life. Ivan,
got
keep
put in,
going,
yeah,
bro. Keep
put in,
going.
put in the work, man. I mean, it's, we all talk about living life and this, and boy, if I had $1 million, and I promise you, man, it doesn't matter how much fucking money you have. If your shit's fucked up, i.e., my back right now, it don't matter. It don't, nothing. The only thing that matters is getting healthy.
That's right. Keep going, Ivan. We're proud of you. Let us know how you're doing. Keep motoring. Ace Ramon, did we ever find out how big Batista is? No, that's good. That'll be one of the eternal questions.
I don't understand why people ask that. It's kind of weird.
It just became a thing on YouShoot. Somebody sent it in once, and it was so like out of the blue that I chose it as a question. I don't remember who it was to, but they've since made. If you search on YouTube, people have
I
made
think if you,
mashups of.
I think that if you're endowed, you really don't give a fuck about other people that are endowed, but it becomes an issue to people if they're not endowed because they they think that that's